Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Stash on the Apps podcast, where today we've got a little bit of a different start here. This is AI Minecraft, which is kind of crazy. Uh, it's kind of an insane concept, all things considered, and it's definitely in a very, very rough area right now. Uh, it is quite um, in developed, right? It's going to need a lot of work. This is a project by Oasis Descartes AI, I guess. I'm not really sure what that is. There's apparently enough people on it that there's a queue. You can only get so many people in at one time, which I get it. They've got like their own like small server that they're running this off of. So it's going to be a first come first serve kind of thing. And so we're kind of just going to talk about some basics about it, and then we'll see if we can get in some actual gameplay. So I've talked about AI before here on the podcast with the whole AI bots thing. I've talked about it, and kind of I feel like I talk about AI more and more as time goes on, which I don't know. It's AI is not my foray, but it's kind of becoming it. I don't I don't use it that much. I don't really touch it a whole lot. Not really my thing. For some people it's super cool. To me it's just like, okay. I mean, yeah, it's a really interesting thing and I'd like to see how it's going to develop. But I feel like to me it's not just not that important, right? And the fact AI gaming imposes so many possible outcomes, so many different scenarios, right? Like I'd imagine that there is definitely some ground here that this is copyright infringement, and we could see some big lawsuits come up. Especially because Minecraft isn't the only game that's being made by AI. It's the one that I know of the most. I know the most about. But I know there are others. I think there's a CS:GO one as well, and there's definitely more that I don't know about. Just just by proxy of the fact that if those two games are being made, other games are also being made, right? Like you're not gonna have just these two. Like people are definitely trying to make COD, AI COD, and you know whatever other games that they want to play. There's probably going to be an AI GTA coming out at some point, right? And now this one is I'm not exactly sure how this is based, how exactly it works. Um, but I know that the CS:GO one is its AI graphics and whatnot work through using videos of the game being played, right? And like YouTube videos and whatnot. From what I've heard and from how I've seen this explained, it's different than that, but I don't exactly get how it's different. There are some really good videos on it. Mudahar from Some Ordinary Gamers made a a really good video on it that he talks about it. I'll put a card up here for his channel. Go check him out. I mean, I say that he's a much bigger YouTuber than I am. I don't know why I'm giving him a shout out. Anyhow, but I want to give him credit for his work, right? So he made a good video on this. I don't. I'll talk about it more and probably crack a lot of jokes about it as time goes on, and once we can get in and get some actual gameplay. But it's rough. Like if you turn around too many times here in these maps, like your game it'll just generate completely brand new terrain from where you were. Like it's kind of like it's kind of reminds me of some like the old like AI generated videos that we saw like early 2023. Like there was the video of like the Rock, Dwayne the Rock Johnson eating a rock, and it was like really iffy and kind of and pretty poor quality. It kind of reminds me of that, especially once you open up your inventory. It's pretty bad. Also, water, as I've heard, is a difficulty, so we'll go and we'll test out all of those things. Okay, we got 43 people left in the queue. We got about 10 seconds ETA, it's saying. I have no idea if that's the case, but we'll see. So, here we are, loading in. Okay, so there's a lot of input lag here. Really slow. Like, really slow. Okay, so if I make, like, broad... Yeah, see? I turn my head, and now that's gone. Right? Now there's a taiga there that wasn't there. If I do this, now there's more taiga. If I then turn back... Taiga's not here. Can I... Okay, so there's that. Control is run. Okay. The inventory is quite preposterously bad. Oh, wow, this is really difficult to use, actually. Like, I can't even select items in my hotbar. Okay, yeah, so this is... Wait, is right-click the way to attack something? No, okay, so I do stuff to left-click for this. Oh, I'm just looking at the thing at the bottom right. Also, grass is pretty yikes, as you can see. Oh, I'm staring at the ground. Let me look up. Okay, I think that's some water over here. I know, that's just birch trees. Oh, what the heck is going on? Whoa! Okay, this is way more broken than I thought it was. Okay, it looks like we've got a cave here. I can't tell if this is like... I think this is andesite below me. Yeah, now we're in a completely different area. See? Like, you can just straight up, like, wormhole through things. Also, I feel really short, too. Okay, so I only gotta have about 2.5-ish minutes left. Oh, jeez. Torch? Can I place a torch? What? Okay. So I don't think I can... Oh, I can use the crafting table. Okay, it automatically gives me... Okay, so I can shift click. That's cool. But yeah, the inventory is rough to say the least. Why do I have two... Where did that come from? Whoa, okay, my item is just gone. Also, trying to read anything is just such a pain. Why can I just see through blocks right now? This is weird. I can make... Why is my mouse not moving? Okay. So crafting is present, barely. Wait, did I just make more? What the heck just happened? Whoa, why is the ground so low poly? And my crafting table's gone. Awesome. Okay. So yeah, as you can see, this is pretty low quality, right? And you only get 5 minutes, or like maybe it might even be 4. It is what it is, right? Okay, so we're just in a tundra now. That's nice. Um. Oh, it just closed my tab. Okay, that's great. Anyhow, so now you can kind of you can kind of see where things are with this, right? So we'll just pull Minecraft up here. Oh, wrong one. There we go. So now we're here. We're in the hardcore world, but you can see it's pretty rough, right? It is low quality at best. It's gonna get better with time, of course. I mean, I don't know why it wouldn't get better with time. I'd be worried if it didn't, in fact. And I don't know that right now it's in a position where it could really even get copyright claimed. Like, it's hard to tell that you're playing Minecraft at times, especially considering how, how low quality and how difficult some things are to do. Like, crafting is basically not possible there. As you guys saw, it is almost impossible to craft things. It feels like you're on, like, acid or something, quite honestly. It's a really weird and surreal experience, to say the least. To say the most, I genuinely feel kind of high when I'm playing, by playing that, and I don't enjoy that it also just closed out my tab, either. Like, I don't know why it just closed that tab of my browser entirely and just like, okay, no more for you, tab gone. I don't quite enjoy that. I don't know why that happened, but it did. It's gonna take us some time to become more quality, and I don't know exactly how that develops either. Like, I don't get the process behind... I don't understand the process behind AI development whatsoever. I couldn't explain it if... I could not try and explain it if I wanted to. It is completely foreign to me. In every way. I need sponges. But aside from that, I mean, it's cool. It's pretty unplayable at the moment, though. I mean, as you guys can tell, it is difficult, you know? It is low quality as low quality gets, and you can't craft. Running isn't even that easy. I mean, heck, water just, like, was there and then wasn't there. You know, it kind of just generates willy-nilly. It doesn't really generate and then stay there, which I think is the problem with AI, because as far as I can tell, AI kind of works by, like, generating and then, like, consistently generating new stuff, and so if you want to have just one thing generate, that's kind of not... Using AI for that's kind of really not what you want. Or at least for, like, graphics, you know? At least for graphics, it kind of works that way. I don't... For just, like... If you were to use it for, like, just game code, it would be just fine, you know? ChatGPT has been seen to generate pretty good code, as far as I can tell, so... I mean, that's... At least it works for that application of making video games. But it doesn't really seem to work for any of the other video game making applications. Anything graphic-wise, I do not think should be left up to AI. I definitely think that come a couple of years of this, I think you could see AI being the premier method of making video games. I do think I think it's a possible hypothetical, right? I don't think it's probable, but I definitely think we could see it. It could definitely happen. There is a distinct chance that that is the case. I don't know that that's a good thing at all. In fact, I'd say it's probably a pretty bad thing if that were to happen. But it is a possibility. Even if a terrifying one, right? It's really hard to have any good opinion. It's kind of hard to have some, like, good opinions on it, other than, like, well, I'm hopeful that it'll get better, right? Aside from that, I mean, that's always easy to say, like, oh, well, it's gonna get better. I hope it gets better. It's always easy to say that. It is a little difficult to really have a lot of faith in where it's going right now. I'd be willing to bet that they're going to get a lawsuit and be forced to stop because of copyright infringement or, like piracy, whatever, making it easier to distribute a game for free. Because if it gets to the point that it's a functional recreation of Minecraft that looks exactly like it and you're not paying for it, like, even if you are getting only 5 minutes of playtime, it is pretty illegal to do. So, or at least as far as I'm aware, I'd imagine as far as I'm aware, I'm fairly certain it's pretty illegal to do that. So, where development goes with it, if it doesn't end abruptly, who knows? Um, I don't have a whole lot of high hopes though for it lasting a long time. I don't think it's gonna happen, honestly. I think there's a lot of risk involved with it. Of course, I mean, of course, there's going to be a lot of risk involved, but all the legal troubles that you probably have to go to just keep developing it, I don't think the game devs are going to find it worth continuing, honestly. I think, they'll get a lawsuit, maybe two or even three, and then they'll just be like, all right, well, this isn't worth our time. We're going to have to stop development. And I mean, if they get a lawsuit, they're probably going to be forced to stop, even if they don't want to, just because of, cease and desists and what all. Like, they'll probably just be forced to stop anyway, even if they don't want to. Which I think is just going to be a fact of life with that. So, if that doesn't, I mean, I don't know if that, I can't say for certain that will or won't happen, but I'd imagine it will. Like, if it didn't happen, that would be very surprising. Those kinds of things, those kinds of things, big game companies just don't let happen. Mind you, Mojang is generally a bit, more relaxed with those kinds of things. With like, okay, well, I mean, they're not charging anybody anything, so we're generally not going to do anything about it. As kind of Mojang's take on some of those things. You're right, like they do have, I believe in their EULA, they say like if you're making like a fan game or whatever, and you don't actually charge anybody for it, like if it is just free, like you can use it. Like someone's making a video and animated recreation of Minecraft story mode, and there was talks about, well, they might get like a cease and desist or whatever, but because of Telltale Games going under, they no longer owned the rights to the Minecraft story mode game, and so Telltale couldn't make any claims to it, and Mojang didn't have any objections to it as far as I've seen so far, and so that project is still going. Will that happen here? Who knows? Because this is more of like a direct recreation of the game, I can't see it making it super far. I think it will at some point get taken down. And even if the Minecraft one itself doesn't get taken down, others will. And then the AI Minecraft devs are going to see that and be like, okay, maybe this isn't the safest thing for us to be doing. Like, this is maybe a little bit too far. We might need to pump the brakes on this. And then at that point, we'll see where it goes from there. I could very well see that becoming a thing. I think it's very possible that would happen. In fact, I think that's probably the most likely outcome, is that other games where other game devs who will see their games like having this happen, they're gonna take a very proactive measure to be like, this isn't happening. We're not gonna let this happen. Stop now, before we make everything hell for you and just sue you out the ass, right? Like, I imagine that will probably happen pretty quickly for a game like the CS:GO game. Of course, the original CS:GO isn't around anymore, so maybe that one won't. But if someone's gonna try recreating something like Fortnite, someone's gonna try recreating GTA, right? They're gonna try making these bigger, like massive franchises, and then game devs are gonna be like, okay, those devs of those games are gonna be like, all right, this is enough. Y'all stop now before we just, sue you till you die, kind of idea, right? Like, that very well could happen. And I expect it to, honestly. I don't have a lot of hopes for it. I wish I could have more hopes for it, but it's gonna end poorly, I'm certain of it. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. So be it. I'll admit, if I'm wrong, I'll admit it, I was wrong, and that if it goes well and it sticks around, I mean, that's pretty hype. But AI stuff tends to like ebb and flow. Like you'll have like this one thing is really cool for a little bit of time and then it's done. It's like it's kind of living on vicariously is like through the style of internet trends, you know? I see this could very well go that way. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I imagine it will. I just can't find my sponges. I don't know where my sponges are at. Um, yeah, I don't think this is gonna end well. I am certain of the fact that this is gonna, it's gonna either end in a lawsuit, or there, or it's also possible that, game devs are just like, oh, you know, this really isn't worth it. Like, maybe we'll just end it here, or much like many AI trends, the popularity and stuff is gonna die off, and people are gonna stop. Now, from what I've seen and what I've read, the Minecraft one is not it's not for profit, of course, but it's also designed to be a teaching tool or something for AI engines. And so if that's the case, maybe they'll keep it going so they can keep, training AIs and whatnot. I don't know, we'll see. Again, lawsuits are starting to seem to me as the most likely course of action for these game companies, and then for the game devs that their games, it's like, oh, well, you're taking our game here, guy, and you're using it. We didn't give you permission, and then some dev is gonna see that and be like, oh, okay, well this guy's getting sued. Well, I'm probably also gonna get sued, so I'm gonna stop here. I think that's probably the most likely thing to happen with it, and it'll probably die out that way. It's a cool concept, and I'm excited to see where it's gonna go. I just don't have hopes for it. It's really my big synopsis of this whole thing. It's a cool idea, very pog. It needs a lot of work to become even moderately playable. But when it does, that's a pretty cool thing to mess around with. But if that even happens, it's gonna be a bit of a miracle if we can even get to that point. So I think that's about it for today's episode. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. We got audio and visual listeners. Subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment if there's any topics you want to hear me talk about. And this might be a topic we revisit in like a month or two as it gets more developed. So thanks for watching, guys. Bye.